All right. So we're going to talk about the lesions because I want you guys to understand what they are, where they come from, how they work, so that you guys can understand this a little bit more, right? So, do you remember in Endgame when Bruce Banner as the Hulk, as Bruce Banner, goes to see the Sorceress Supreme to get the or the Time Stone? I'm sorry, the Time Stone, right? And she does the whole thing, and like the whole timeline comes across, and she flicks the one stone out, right? And it creates another timeline. Okay, picture that in your mind, right? There's two timelines on the one timeline, okay? So when you have your nervous system, it controls your entire body, correct? So your central nervous system is in control of everything. So it's all connected. It is all affected by one big system. And your nerves are all protected by a protective sheath called myelin. When that myelin is attacked by your immune system, then it gets damaged and it creates a disruption. So it creates an additional timeline, essentially. It creates an additional nervous system, like an additional tract of where to send that signal of what to do. So, with your nervous system, when your myelin gets damaged, that creates a lesion, and a lesion is just another word for scar. So, your nerves are getting scarred. And when your nerves get scarred, it leaves like a scar, like on your skin, but in your body, inside, it shows up a little bit different and it affects you differently because it's on your organs, it's on your brain, it's on different parts of your body that it's supposed to be functioning in one way, and now it's going to function a little bit different because now that scar is there, and that signal for it to work one way is now telling it to work in a different way or slower, and it's not connecting properly, right? So with me currently, I have the most lesions in the part of my brain that is supposed to, and this is the perfect example. It's in the part of my brain where your fast process thinking is, and you guys, I'm sure, have seen that a lot with me lately, and with coming up with words. It takes mom a little bit for words to be processed or for me to find the right word. The perfect example of this is when a couple years ago I was working at the Humane Society and I could not think of the word chicken. It could not come out. Just couldn't do it. And I, no, I'm sorry. It was the word bird. I couldn't think of the word bird. And I said sky chicken, and everybody laughed and they thought it was hilarious. They knew that I was having some issues with my brain at the time, so we all laughed. It wasn't just them laughing at me, like we all laughed. It was funny. But that's the perfect example of when a lesion affects a process, because you can't just say I'm having memory issues. Like there is a legitimate pause in a process or a slow progression, reduction. Something is actually changing the way that you are supposed to be doing something. And that is huge. It affects huge parts of your daily life. So there are other areas of my brain that have lesions. There are other parts in other parts of my body that have lesions. I have other side effects. That was just one example, but I wanted to explain to you what lesions are and how it actually works, because that is the whole purpose of what I'm going through, are these stupid lesions, right? The immune system is attacking its own body. And it's absolutely insane. And there's no reason for it at all. It's just something that happens. And it's just something we're dealing with, right? I love you guys.